Now sit back and relax while you get advice that will take you to the next destination in your career or business. And now, Katrina Brittingham. Hello, 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 hello. It is Katrina Brittingham with High Tea with me. You brought your favorite beverage, and we are bringing the business advice with my handsome co host. He is doing the love portion. Oh, that's a heart, right? That's how they do
Oh, I
it.
love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I know
Well,
that's good. I need to learn how to do that.
so we are doing a love topic, and this is all Dr. Love. So he will be telling us what the topic is, and I'm going to chime in with my little 2 cents.
Oh boy, and you're gonna have 2 cents tonight. I was thinking, we're gonna have to mastermind on how we want to jump in, because sometimes, you want to jump in, sometimes I want to jump in. So I don't know what we're gonna grab the ear to say I got something to say, or just little signs, so you don't lose your point. You know what I'm saying? Can I jump in? So we'll brainstorm on that, okay? Um, I'm excited for our topic tonight because our topic tonight is it's an excellent topic. I think our listeners are in for a treat tonight, and I'm ready to drop the topic. Are y'all ready to hear the topic for tonight? What did they say? Did they say did anybody type in yes? Did anybody type yes into the chat? Y'all ready to hear this topic tonight? This is a great topic tonight. Are
They're
y'all
watching.
are you ready for the topic tonight? All right. I think that drum roll, please. Our topic tonight for the love session is called or titled A Victim of Love.
Ooh.
A Victim of Love. And I'm really excited about that because, you know, as I share oftentimes, man and woman coming together is such a natural experience. Okay, hey, Miss Johnson said yes. The male and woman coming together is such a natural experience. However, that's the only thing natural about it. Everything else takes planning, it takes strategy, it takes ingenuity, it takes growth, it takes development. But every one of us has been a victim of love. And I wanted to start off by telling you a story tonight. Sometime Dr. Love is out and about, and you know, I'm gonna have to be honest with you. I do a bit of ear hustling. Does anybody out there do any ear hustling? Somebody's talking in the next booth,
Hmm.
and say what? Some ear hustling. And I was listening at the conversation, and the male and the woman, the male and the female was talking like this. Here's how it went. She was saying, you needed your passport for next month. And she said, I went and I filled in the paperwork and got that done for you. And then she said, your car needed the inspection. So I went and I mailed the registration off for you, you know. And then she said, and then your daughter said she wanted to come over. And I told her it would be okay for her to come over this weekend. And, I did all that, and it was three to four things. It was one other thing that she did. And at the end of the list of four things that she said, he said to her, but I didn't ask you to do any of it. So she was really taken back by the fact that I did this just for you. But he turns to her and say, but I didn't ask you to do it. Now, I'm
Hmm.
not saying, I mean, it sounds like he was also implying he wasn't grateful, appreciative of it, But he said, I didn't ask you to do it. And not asking you to do it, not asking you to do it, it really rings strong because women have this ability, and men have it too, but we don't move into it. It's certain things that you don't really have to ask me for.
Mm-hmm.
If I know you need it, if I see you need it, if you imply or indicate in any way, shape, form, and fashion that you need it,
Mm-hmm.
her nurturing, mothering instinct will say, you got it.
Mm-hmm.
No questions asked. But him being the man that he is, and the Bible even says that you have not because you ask not.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, I didn't ask you. And she was just, I mean, she was just crunched. She was, you know, she was just, she was just devastated. And I'm just sitting there, I'm just, what I'm saying? And she went through the list again. So you mean to tell me, I got your passport working for you, and that's not a help to you? He said, I didn't ask you to do. So she moved into starting to really rake him over the coals because he seemed to be ungrateful for the fact that she saw that he needed something. She went on and did it, and now rather than saying just thank you, I appreciate you, thank you for helping me, he said I really didn't ask you to do it. And that's the reason the topic tonight is a victim of love, because in life, in relationships, we find ourselves doing things, giving things, saying things, and it might not be for us to do, say, or to be. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
tell you one more story that really just resonated with me. As you know, and some of you may not know, but I raised my wife and I. We raised my oldest son's two children. We got uh, my my oldest grandson when he was 3, and my granddaughter when she was 7 months, and we raised them. He's now 21. She's 19 in college. So we had them in daycare, and well, we had them in school. And if you were late picking them up from school or from their classroom, they had something called aftercare. So they would leave
Mm-hmm.
the classroom, school was over at like 3 o'clock. If you got there at 3:30, 3:35, 3:40, they went to aftercare, which was another area where they would play. So I go to aftercare and I'm just standing at the door and I'm just watching my granddaughter, and she's on the table. She's at the table and she's playing with blocks, and she doesn't really see me. So she just, she's busy playing. So I'm just standing there watching her for some reason. This particular day, I'm just standing there watching her. And this particular day, I see this little boy now. She's 7 years old. I see her playing at the table with her blocks, and she's playing by herself, and she's building and she's moving these blocks and she's doing what she needs to do. And this little boy walks over to the table. Now he walks over to the table, and I'm just there. I mean, I can remember it like it was yesterday. She's on her knees in the chair, so that makes her high up over the table. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's not like she's chest high. I mean, she's up to the table. Her stomach. She's comfortable. I can see her, and she's playing with these blocks. And he walks over to the table, and the only thing I could see is his head coming over to the table, and he stands at the table. And she's playing, and then she notices that he's standing there. So she looks and he's standing there. And then she plays a little longer. And then here's what she does: no conversation, No words exchanged. She takes half of her blocks and she pushes them over to him. He didn't utter a word, not one word. And she gave him half of her blocks. I'm sitting at the table. I'm standing at the door. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, whoa. She's 7. He's 6 or 7. I'm not even sure, but you know what I'm saying? 6 or 7. And at the tender age of 7, in her mind, he shows up automatically. I'm going to give him something.
Mm-hmm.
He's 7. He's at the table, and he realizes, and he's starting to understand. I don't even have to say anything. If I just show up,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get something.
Mm-hmm.
Just showing. I don't. I don't have to ask. So tonight, I just wanted to just begin to open up uh, dialogue and begin just to share, because when, as being a victim of love, and the lovely Miss Katrina and I, we're both songsters at heart. You know what I'm saying? So I can't help but do. Everybody plays the fool. Sometimes,
Sometimes
no
there's no
exception.
exception to the rule.
Listen, honey, it may be
Maybe
factual.
factual, it may be cruel.
That's right. But I ain't lying. Everybody plays the fool.
Oh yes, and everybody does.
No exception. Isn't that something? No exception.
And I was a child when that song first came out. And I'm listening to I was singing it all around the house and everything, have my little smooth tone sometimes. And my mom is looking at me like, what? I was too young to have played
What
the
you
fool.
know about that?
Right? But as I got older and I did play the fool and that song came back, I just laughed. I said, wow, there's no exception. There is
Mm,
no exception.
mm, mm, mm. It's no exception, because you know the saying goes, and I'm quite sure so many of our listeners would agree with me. The statement is, if I knew now, you know what I'm saying, what I knew then, if I knew then what I knew now, right? If I knew then what I knew now, it would be a different story.
Whole different one.
It'd be a different story. The storyline would change, the plot would change, the outcome would change, the story would change, the pain would change. Everything would change if I just knew then what I know now. So, understanding the nature, tonight, understanding the nature of the male versus the nature of the female. We've got to understand, and I was talking with my wife tonight. I mean, well, we were talking this morning about it. I said, you've gotta know. I mean, she's got me. I said, but you gotta know man. You've gotta know man. You've gotta know him. You can't guess. You gotta know it. I mean, she sat there. I did that. I did that. She just running down the list. You know what I'm saying? You mean to tell me I'm not gonna just get a great big thank you? You know what I'm saying? No. But I didn't ask. Mm, that's a slap in the face.
Yes, it is.
That's a slap in the face. Okay. So that's the reason Dr. Love shares this when it comes down to some of the pain uh, that men and women go through, because men go through that as well. I mean, it's not only women, but it's majority of women. It's more women than men because women are natural nurturers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? My granddaughter, who's a young, she's a young teenager, but she's an old soul. Um, she had a little situation in school, and she was telling someone, you know what I'm saying? She said, "Listen, you can't say this to me, or you can't do this to me." She said, "Because I'm a woman." You know what I'm saying? So I waited. I waited till she finished. I said, honey, I said, you're a young lady in training now. I said, but you're not a woman, all right? You know what I'm saying? You're not a woman. You know what I'm saying? You are a motherette. On Mother's Day, I always wish mothers a happy Mother's Day. So I wish all the mothers a happy Mother's Day, and all the women that are not mothers, I call them motherettes. I got a couple of daughters that are not married, don't have no children. They're motherettes, mothers, but not yet. Okay. So I said, you're a young lady in training, but you're a motherette. You're not a woman, okay? So however, I had to just get her straight because she's a young lady in training. But what ushers in so much of the pain that our women are experiencing is because they don't fully understand the importance of holding her drive, her ability, her willingness to see a need, not ask if you want me to fill the need, but to take it upon myself
Mm-hmm.
to fulfill a need in your life that I call.
I have a comment about that because,
Go ahead.
yes, as a woman, I'm one of the women that have been on that side.
Mhm,
However, with the same person, not, and I'm not talking about my current person, but with the same person, when you don't do, you get, oh, you didn't do that. I was like, well, saying you didn't ask me to. I
mhm,
shouldn't have to ask you.
mhm, mhm,
So I found when people are like that, whether they're male or female, it's a darned if you do, darned if you don't thing. Because if you don't do it, they're like, well, you knew I needed it. Why didn't you do it?
mhm, mhm,
If you do it, well, I didn't ask you to do it. That person that says you didn't ask me to do it will be the same one asking you how come you didn't do something if something fell through
mhm, mhm, mhm,
without asking you. Well, you saw it and noticed. Why didn't you do something about it?
mhm. Yeah.
Just that's just my little observation.
And that's a good point because we're talking tonight, and Monday nights, we talk about business. You know what I'm saying? Tonight we just it's relationship, but we're talking about the business of love tonight. But when you look at the word relationship, you want to understand what the word relationship means. The question
Mhm.
is relationship. How are you relating to the person in the ship with you? Think of a ship, a boat. When you think of relationship, think of a boat. How are you relating to the person in the ship
Mhm.
with you? You see,
Mhm.
same thing in your business. How are you relating to your employees in the ship
Yep.
with you? See, that's the thing. How are you relating to your customers that are in the ship with
Yes.
you?
Mhm.
Okay, see, it's all about relationship. Okay, and that's one of the
Mhm.
things that one of the things that my customers, if we could interview them, would tell you. When I would take on a new client, we always had a consultation. I would always talk about what she's been doing with her hair, what is her diet like, what has she been doing, just going through all of the things of her hair. And then at some point in our second visit, our third visit, our fourth visit, or whatever visit it was, all my clients would get this song sung to them because, as you know, I'm a songstress at heart. They would always get this song. And this song is getting to know you, getting to
Yeah.
know all about you.
Yes.
When I'm with you, getting to know what to say.
Hmm.
Haven't you noticed? Son? See, that's when the relationship begins to take the turn.
Yes.
Have you have you noticed? See, so that person, see the relationship when see the relationship begins out like a chess, it's like a chess game. You make a move, I make a counter move. You make another move, I make a counter move. Then it gets to the point that then the relationship begins to progress where you begin to say, listen, I'm making moves not to really prove myself or to defend myself against you, but I'm trying to make moves to become coherent, to become compatible,
Hmm.
to become compliant with. See, see, at the beginning, he's not so willing to become compliant.
Hmm.
See, so you're going to get the did you do this? Did you do that? What did that? What is you know what I'm saying? So the relationship it has to take those turns. Relationships is you know it's the
Hmm.
ups and the downs. It's all those things because you have two totally separate people who've been raised in two separate households, two separate identities,
Hmm.
different paradigms, different experiences. You got two separate people coming together as one.
Hmm.
So you've got the clashing.
Hmm.
So the whole thing of it is how do you stay interactive? How do you stay engaged
Hmm.
long enough to begin to get to the point? Getting to know you,
Right.
getting to know all about you. I'm getting to know you. See, see that's the thing about relationships. Tonight I want to underline this thought in anyone that was listening in your relationship. Don't force it. I'm gonna say it again. Try to force it.
Hmm.
Don't try to force her. To the men, don't try to force her. To the women, don't try to force him. Okay. Don't try don't try to force it. Okay. Let it begin to unfold and take its own volition. The relationship will take its own volition. My wife said something to me when we were talking a little while ago that she never really shared with me. And she said, when I was with you, she said, I felt so safe. I
Mm.
was really, you know what I'm saying? Because I've always prided myself on being a gentleman. That's just how I was raised. I mean, I did some whacked out stuff. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I did some whacked out stuff. But she said, I always felt so safe with you. And the reason she felt safe and women feel safe, even in the salon, even when talking, all the women always feel safe with me because I'm always a gentleman. I don't force it. I'm learning, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't always that way. Don't force it. Don't if he don't if he don't want to come in, Oprah Winfrey, I remember Oprah Winfrey and Stedman, they were being interviewed, and I thought it was interesting because Oprah said, I'm at my house, and Oprah don't have a house, she's got an estate, you know what I'm saying? But she was saying, I'm at my house and I'm watching National Geographics in one room because she's just an intellectual. And she said Stedman was in her game room and he was playing a game. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, you know, I don't know what it would take for him to like come into the room with me or, for me to go play the game. But he was like, honey, everybody doesn't have a game room in their house. So he was just kind of like, I guess, taken with the game room.
Mhm.
But them two in this large mansion, he's in the game room, she's watching National Geographic. Which are we gonna force? Am I gonna force him in the room with me, or I'm gonna force myself? Do you follow what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Don't force.
And I just have to cut in because we are at the halfway mark.
Oh, oh,
So hold that thought. And we're going to come back to you in a few moments after we pay our sponsors pay us. We got some bills to pay.
got bills to pay. We'll be back.
From one-on-one executive coaching to our business building concierge service, Venture Ready helps entrepreneurs, startup executives, and business owners build, scale, and run their businesses using techniques that support stability and long-term growth. Through the Career GPS radio show and High Tea with Me TV program, we promote smart business strategies for the real world. Then, in our one-on-one coaching programs, we help entrepreneurs go beyond the vision board to realize their big vision into a tangible business with a promising future. If you're waiting to feel legit, here's the thing: you have to legitimize yourself. It's time to stop treating your business like a hobby. Get real, it's your career. So let me ask you, are you venture ready?
All right, we are back. And if you are ready to change your hobby into a business or get more serious about your business, start up, grow, expand, want to learn how to manage your employees or bring in employees on, we have something for you. We even have, again, this show, which was mentioned in the commercial, yay, that'll help you with all areas of your life, including love. And we are back with our love topic with the real deal, Dr. Love.
Hello, hello. I am excited to again. This is my topic. I love talking about love. Where were we at? What were we talking about?
We were talking about not forcing it.
Oh, yes, yes. Oh, don't force it. That's that's the key. When you begin to understand the nature, okay, the nature of human beings, the nature of a woman. See that's one of the things that men really can take classes on and take lessons on when it comes down to the nature of a woman, how she's wired and how she's moved. Okay, I don't know. Well, here's one of the things that happens when it comes down to sex. I'm just going to throw this out there because um, it happens to be a love topic tonight. When it comes down to sex, for women, foreplay is extremely important because of how the nature of how she's wired. When it comes down to the male, foreplay is not extremely important. See, a man is visual. See, we're visual. We see and we be like, oh, the girl look good. You know what I'm saying? Your girl look good. And don't let her have on a spandex or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Boy, girl look good. I say it like this in my church voice. The Lord is my shepherd. I see what I want. The girl look good. All
I see what I want.
right. So men are visual. Okay, women don't operate like that. Women don't see a man and she says he looks good, he's attractive, I like his body and whatnot, but she she's not ready to get intimate. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't do it for her. You know what I'm saying? So understanding the nature of the woman, understanding what causes her to move through the process is what men really have to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And what women have to understand about men is how men have to be held back through the process. See, see, uh, see, the woman, she has to be brought through the process. This is one, this is step two, this is step three, four, five, could be a six. You know what I'm saying? It depends on where she's at. You know what I'm saying? If a woman had a high stress day, if my wife is stressed, if she's been through a lot, her mind is really not on certain things. Her mind is not on, she's not in that mood. She's not, she's not thinking that. But if you begin to create, you can begin to transform.
Mm-hmm.
The man, he doesn't have to have everything created for him. I told you, you know what I'm saying? Girl, yeah, girl look good. Yeah, yeah, I'll be over. What time? Yeah, I'll be over. You know what I'm saying? That's how a man rolls. So for the woman has to understand. And I'm gonna give you this so that you can understand. You don't even have to come to class for this. Most women don't understand when it comes down to the man, it's not sex that excites him and pushes him into that mindset. What trips men and what kicks men into the mindset is thought sex. It's not the act. See, so in both incidents with both creatures, both the male and the female, it's not for the woman to just jump into the act, it's the process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For the man, he can jump into the act, but that doesn't work because he gets shortchanged because he wasn't able to go through the process. There's a process that even he has to go through before the act becomes what it was designed to be. So, with us not understanding that about the woman, a woman says, he didn't take his time with me. The man says, well, we had sex, but that's all. It was nothing more, nothing. It really didn't do nothing because we didn't understand the process.
Mm-hmm.
And because we don't understand the process, we are victims.
Mm-hmm.
We we're in relationships, or we're out of relationships, or we're on our way into relationship, and we're really entering in with an attitude that we're bringing in from our last relationship. I was talking with someone the other day, and I'm going to share this because I was talking about this morning with someone. He was dating a girl, and he liked her, and she's a cute girl. But she had a baby from a previous relationship. And I asked him, I said, what are your thoughts on taking her on as a date or as a woman, as your significant other, possibly moving into marriage? He said, well, I don't know. I said, I got to think about it. I said, well, when a woman has a child, it's a package deal.
Right.
There's no separation, they're together. He said, I understand and I need to think about it. And one of the things that I wanted to share with women, tonight in understanding this, women, you've got to know your value. You've got to know that so that you don't become a victim.
Right.
He indicated to me, and I begin to pick it up in his conversation, and I just want women to hear me say this so that you will know. He talked as if he took her on, he said, I'm going to do her a favor. I'm going to do her a favor. It's like
Mm.
if I marry her and she has a child, it's like he was saying like I'm doing her a favor. Do you understand what I'm saying? And see, you women, you want to understand, you're not doing me a favor if I don't do it for you, if what I'm possessing is not of interest to you, if it's not of value to you, keep it moving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Keep it moving. But don't get into a position or don't get into a situation where he feels as though he's doing you a favor, because if you go into that relationship, there is going to be some there's going to be some victimizing.
Mm-hmm.
No question about it. You know what I'm saying? There's going it's going to start out, it's going to start out kind of lightly, it's going to be some slight remarks, like little sly marks, and then it just gets out of hand because one, he thinks he's doing you a favor, and
Mm-hmm.
two, you don't really know what a gift, what a value you are.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you want to begin to understand. And I don't want to just make like it's only women. There are women. I've talked to women who have to date a man who has a child. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she don't have no child of her own. So she's coming in with the title of mama.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? See, so that's where being a victim, a victim, someone who's been taken advantage of,
Mm-hmm.
someone who's been slighted or overlooked. You know what I'm saying? A victim.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, victim is it has its root in the word victim, a a a poison. So you may not have done nothing to me, but you may have said something. You may have spoken a
Mm-hmm.
word to me to poison me.
Yep.
You see, you understand what I'm saying? And you said you loved me,
Exactly.
and you said you loved me. So that's the reason when it comes down to being a victim of love, all these things happen under the auspices of love. And you said you loved me.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? What does that mean? You said you loved me. Okay. I know our time is winding up. But what does that mean? That doesn't mean that he didn't love you, but he loved you in the way that he could love you. And that may not be enough for you.
Right.
You understand that? You can only she can only love you, she can only love you to the extent of her capacity to love you. See
Exactly.
that's what we want to begin to understand. Your capacity to love. I say this all the time to people. I said, don't miss out on your greatest opportunity in life. And what is that? That is to grow and develop yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you grow and develop yourself, you begin to enlarge your capacity
Mm-hmm.
to love,
Mm-hmm.
and to love unconditionally. See, that's the word. That's the agape love, unconditional. In other words, once I sign on with you, there's nothing you're gonna do to make me fall out of love. We're gonna argue, we're gonna fall out, we're gonna snot, we're gonna cry, and guess what? At the end of the night, or at least by tomorrow, we're gonna be back
Mm-hmm.
because there's no conditions. It's unconditional. But if there's conditions, there is always room for you to become a victim.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason Dr. Love is on the scene to help you don't be a victim of love any longer. Any longer.
Mm-hmm.
And that and that's the reason, you know, it's like over it goes over and beyond. You got to kind of like get over and beyond. It's bigger than you and I. You know what I'm saying? I was laughing last night. We had the greatest laugh yesterday. Yesterday was my middle daughter's birthday, and we was here, had a little celebration for her. And we were here at we was here at the house, and my granddaughter was here. And you know, being a grandparent is special. So we sang happy birthday, we eating cake and whatnot, and my granddaughter, she starts crying. She's like, I can't have no cake. So I look at her mother. She says, listen, she has a cold. She hasn't eaten a vegetable. She's not coughing up the mucus. She's not, you know what I mean? She's not doing all the things she needed. She don't need no more sugar. She don't need no more cake. She need no cake. So she was crying. Everybody's eating cake but me. I'm looking at Jen. My wife's looking at my wife. Look, what? So make a long story short, that's what I'm telling you about how love just grows. It's just it gets bigger than us. But I don't know what happened, but I was cutting cake for everybody else, and I don't know what happened, but a piece of cake just stuck in my hand. I couldn't get it out of my hand. So I went to my wife. I said, honey, could you help get this out of my hand? She was able to get it out of my hand. She was able to get the cake out of my hand. And I don't know how the cake got upstairs in the bedroom, and little Gabby was eating on that cake. I don't know how it happened. You know what I'm saying? But make a long story short, she got a piece of cake. All right.
Such the grandparent thing to do.
I said, honey, take her to the secret chamber. You understand? See, the conditions. See, you want to begin to understand. I'm just using that in the relationship. See, my daughter was saying she didn't meet the conditions
Mm-hmm.
to have dessert. She didn't do what she needed to do. She didn't eat what she needed to eat. She didn't have what she needed to have. She didn't say what she didn't need to say. And having said that, all that, see, in a relationship, you've got to get to the point where you didn't do this, you didn't say that, and you didn't do what you need to do. But guess what? Unconditional love says, I'm going to still give you what you need, regardless to, in spite of.
Yes.
See, that's what I want you to understand. But that doesn't happen overnight. And you can't force it. Don't force it. Okay. My wife and I, we've been together a long time. I passed her that piece of cake in the hallway. She said to me, she said, I'm so glad you did that. You know what I'm saying? I'm so glad you did that. And it wasn't a big piece, but it was enough for her. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And she came away happy, fulfilled, satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
We need more relationships where she's fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
We need more relationship where he's fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
We need more relationships where the children are fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
I got some work to do tomorrow. You know, I got two people saying, doctor, I don't know if we're gonna make it. You know, I don't know if we're gonna make it. You know, my opening line is, people, the decision you are about to make is going to affect your children in the greatest way.
Mm-hmm.
See, there was one time when it was about me. There was a time when it was about just you.
Mm-hmm.
But when we came together, it was not about just you. It was about you and me.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't about me no more. And then when we got together and we produced children, it wasn't about you or me no more. It was about us. It was about them. because they didn't ask to come. Isn't that something?
Yep.
So I want you to begin to understand. I want you to begin just to get in a space, just to get in the mindset,
Mm-hmm.
begin to understand there is only one love. See, we start thinking there's another love. There's this kind of love. There's only one love.
Mm-hmm.
And that one love will yield to you what you believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
See, what do you believe in it? See, if you don't believe it's possible, then guess what? It's not possible.
Right.
Okay. I told one of my angels of love, she loved it when I post when I uh, put this out on my post, and I'm going to do it regularly because I want women to really understand, and I want women to really settle into it because there's some woman who may listen to this tonight, who may tune in on the rebroadcast of it, or may see it on one of our YouTube channels. And I want women to really understand and know there is no shortage of good men with good intentions. There's no shortage. There is no shortage of good men. None whatsoever. The shortage is only misunderstanding how to handle her or how to handle him. But there's no shortage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Everybody with me? Everybody understand? Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. But I wanted to comment.
Go ahead.
I know we're at the end of the
Okay,
show, at the top of the show, but while you
keep
were
it.
talking, one of the things I was thinking about when you were talking about someone coming into a relationship with a child or children, be it male or female.
Hmm.
I remember when I was growing up, um, we had our family members, we had um, friends and family and everything like that. And my family members would, some of them would marry people who already had children.
Hmm.
Well, it never really set in me because that was just my cousin. If your mother married my uncle, you're my cousin. If
Cousin.
my uncle, if my aunt married your your father, and that's that's my cousin. It was never a big thing, even when it came to the merging of the family, siblings and things like that. You were automatically just a sibling, and it wasn't until I got in school, like junior high school, people started talking about stuff. Oh, that's my stepsister. Because I was like, oh, that's your sister. He's like, oh, that's my stepsister. I was like, that's your sister.
Huh?
And they were like, no, that's my stepsister.
Uh,
I never understood the concept of that. And I went home and I talked to my mom, and my mom was like, well, in this family, you marry into the family, your family. If you friends close enough, you family. That's how we do things. Not everybody sees it that way.
hmm.
And she said, like we were always taught, like if you love that person, then you love that child because that child is a part of that person. It should be automatic. So but I like again as I got older, I realized people didn't say because I mean, oh, that's my stepchild, and I'm like, but that's your child. No, that's not my child. That's my stepchild. That's my husband's child, or that's my wife's child. And I'm like, but that's your child. She had that child, right?
Hmm.
Even though it was with someone else, she had that child, right? And you love her, so you should love the part of that child that is your spouse or whatever. So I just don't get it.
Mm,
Even when the person had when you were telling a story, he's like, oh, I have to decide if this is what I want. You decided that's what you wanted when you decided you wanted the mother.
mm,
All of that comes with that.
mm,
So that was one thing that I just never got, but I wanted to put that out there because if you have someone who has a child, that child is yours too.
mm,
You love that child too. And it should just be automatic.
mm.
Or maybe you don't love that person the way you say you love them.
That is so key. That's the reason I was just uh, reminding our listeners, don't force it, because you just said it. Maybe you don't love me like you think you love me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you don't want me like you said you want me.
Mm-hmm.
See, see that. I mean, see, relationships. My goal is for relationships to endure the test of time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And a good relationship, you know what I'm saying? A good relationship, I feel a song coming on. It just gets better with time. You know, I mean, a good relationship should just get better with time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason I say don't force it. Don't rush. When I started, when Dr. Love started, I would have luncheon, with my girls, and just talking about some things and whatnot. And once my angels was like 20 something, I'm okay, they moving on. Yeah, yeah, I'm not married yet. I'm still single. You know what I'm saying? 20 they bopping. 30. They hit 30s is like yeah, it's kind of time, you know what I'm saying? Uh, at 39, 40, be like, it's been time, you know what I'm saying? 50, what's going on with time, And
What's going on with time?
you know what I'm saying? It gets to that point because a woman starts to feeling at a certain point, if I'm not married at a certain age. And I a guy on the video said that and I don't know why he said it. These women was eating him up at this affair. He stood up and said, my father said if a woman's not married at 35, something wrong with her. He stood up and said that at an event. Well, I mean, that women was all over him. A woman was all over him. You know what I'm saying? Because she's not married at 35, something wrong with her. It's like, uh, you know, listen at this. Listen at this. That's when I said it's no shortage. A man doesn't hit his prime until 35.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A woman, when it comes down to a woman still got it. I mean, I would always have, and I don't know where they are now, but I would always save the Essence. Essence used to always do a special episode every year for women progressing through the ages. They started out with 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, and 92. The girl at 92, you understand what I'm saying? See, girl at 92 was looking good. You understand what I'm saying? I tell women that all the time. You gotta understand. You gotta really know what's going on. That's the reason Dr. Love is out here. Uh, Abraham lied because Sarah looked so good. He thought Abimelech was going to kill him to take Sarah, his wife. He lied because the girl looked so good. So women, I want you to understand. Don't force it. Don't. You still got it. Okay, you still got it. One of my girls, 55. You still got it. One lady said, "I'm 60. I'm in the 60s. You still got it. Relax. You know what I'm saying? You still got it. I was out one day. One of my neighbors. They got married, just got married. This was a year ago. Just got married at 71. I said, so you found a girl of your dreams at 71? You still got it. Relax. Hook up with Dr. Love. I'm telling you. I'm a woman's relationship empowerment coach. Believe you me.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna let you neglect yourself. I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you just abuse yourself and abuse your body because you got to take care of yourself. But I'm telling you,
Mhm.
a woman still has it, but you gotta know it. Okay. So I know we're at the top of the hour. I'm gonna give you the 4 values. A woman must one. A woman must know her value. A woman must 2, internalize her value.
Mhm.
3, a woman must understand her value. And 4, a woman must demonstrate her value.
Mhm.
Demonstrate your value. It does no good for you to know it if you can't show it.
Mhm.
You got to demonstrate your value. You got to walk it out day by day. Don't be a victim of love. This is Dr. Love saying, it's been a pleasure speaking with you tonight. No shortage of good men. If you are looking for the man of your dream, I want you to remember this. He's closer than you think.
Yes. And I don't have anything to add to that except for see you next week because we're at the top of the hour.
Goodbye.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of High Tea with Me. To be a guest on the show, contact us via email info@ventureready.net. Thank you again and see you next week.